And animals are the last, highest level of the ego. Still vegetative animate speaking are the degrees of the ego, and therefore, depending on the level on which that animal is on, then there are different laws that apply to it. There are those that are very high and forbidden for us to use them, like pig and so on. There are those that we can eat them if we slaughter them in a special way. There are those that after the slaughter, we also have to slaughter them in a special way, cut off parts, choose the parts, examine those parts from within. Is the beast not flawed in any way, and so on. And then to cook it in the right way, meaning first of all, kosher it with salt for half an hour and so on, and then cook it, and so on and so forth. Meaning it's all according to the levels, the degrees of the ego, symbolized by that creature from the still vegetative or animate levels, that we can use it in some way or we can't use it at all. Suppose you can use a pig. You can make shoes out of its skin, gloves, whatever you want. Only you can't eat it in the meantime, because we still haven't reached a state where we can make it kosher. But why is it forbidden for me to put it into my body to eat it, but I can wear it? Because it doesn't mean that you're included with it. There's no sign of inclusion. Okay, returning to the question, we said that we want to slaughter our beast. What is that beast inside us? Your body, if you're talking about the body. If you're talking about your internality, whatever you say, your internality is also divided into still vegetative, animate, and speaking, and then you relate to your special desires, which are called a beast, the animalistic level. And then when you scrutinize this animalistic level, you scrutinize different things in it. So you can't use the pig within you in order to feed the human level, but you can do it in other forms. So I slaughter my desires, different desires in me? Yeah? What does it mean to slaughter? What is the spiritual action? Not to use it. And how to do it with a special knife that you slaughter in a special way. There are 4 kinds of deaths by judgment, by which you can put your desires to death, to no longer use them egoistically, but to correct them and use them altruistically. So I have to eradicate those desires in me, the way they are now, of course. And returning once again to the forms of slaughtering you talked about, there are many things that this is allowed, this isn't. It's very meticulous things, right? And it's all according to the compatibility between the branch in this world and the root in the upper world. And therefore it was written by Kabbalists who knew the higher roots, and therefore they wrote about these rules that we have to keep in this world if we want to be in accordance with the higher forces. And someone who is not in attainment of the higher world, then he simply opens the book and reads it like a parrot and keeps what it says. And who's the shochet, the slaughterer? Any person who learned how to be a slaughterer in our world. But the internal slaughterer within me, it's the higher force, a special force, which I invite, and it slaughters within me my beast. What does it do? It puts to death the egoistic desire, and afterwards, I continue and correct the egoistic desire for it to be on a higher level, on the human level, from the animate level, for it to rise to the human level, the degree of Adam, and will enliven me on a higher level. So it's not the person who's slaughtering his desire within me? No. I can't correct myself within myself, but only with the so-called reforming light, ha'or machzir lamutav, the higher force.